Okay, so I'm going to show you the best graphics settings for the best optimization for your computer in Bodycam. So I'm going to split it into tiers: super low-end computer, low-end computer, high-end computer, and then very high-end computer. We're going to start by going in settings and then going in video. So first of all, you're going to make sure your lock FPS is unlocked, and you're going to have HDR off for most of the settings. If you have a very high-end computer, you can have this on. We're going to go in graphics and start with very low-end computer. So first of all, this first setting, we're going to bring it to ultra performance. It's going to make everything not look great, but it'll still look realistic. This second setting, it uses AI to see where you're moving, and then it's just going to give you an FPS boost by doing this. It can have some weird visuals and some particles, but I would highly recommend turning it on if you're not getting a lot of FPS. Now we go into these settings. First, we're going to turn them all to low, and then scroll down the post process. Make sure that gain is off, sharpness is off, and then motion blur is turned off. Now, if you wanted to change a few settings, we move into the low-end device tier. So now we can start changing some settings. If you want global illumination, turn that on. I recommend turning on textures to at least medium to make everything look smoother, and then maybe some better foliage. And if you have a medium tier computer, just set this to performance. Next, we go into decent or high-end computer. We're going to start by moving some settings to medium and then turning some settings to high, but remember, just be aware that every time you turn this up, it just makes your game a little bit laggier, a little bit less FPS. Now we can maybe have motion blur on low. Just have these settings that you want. And for high-end computer or decent, just turn this to balance. And then if your frame rates are still really good, just turn this off so that your visuals will look a little bit better. Next, we go to high tier computer. We're going to set this from balance to quality, and then if your FPS is taking a little bit of a hit, you might want to turn this on. Now we're going to be able to turn up some settings a little bit higher to make our game look better, but just remember, everything you set is going to deal with your FPS, and then maybe have some better motion blur. And if you wanted to, turn on HDR, it'll still look better. Now, if you have a super high computer and you want to max it out, we could turn this off, but remember, it's just going to not make much of a difference. Turn this on extreme and then change this to whatever you want. Turn this on, and then you should look as good as possible. Change all settings to epic, then scroll down the post process, turn on sharpness and motion blur to whatever you want. HDR should be turned on, and there you go. That's the best graphics settings for whatever computer you want. See you later.